What's up, guys? How are you all doing? Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to it. In this video, I'm going to be discussing something that people are not really familiar with, and I think that it needs to be properly addressed because it is something that most people trust a lot, and it will eventually making us have some hard decisions and some real consequences if we don't start to apply a more critical opinion towards things. The thing I'm here to preach on about is science isn't most of the times believable. And you may probably be wondering, why do you say such things when science is the driver of all technological improvements? Science is the root of our knowledge. I'm not talking about science in a scientific approach. Like, science will always drive us forward, you know? It will make our quality of life better. It will make us more understandable of the universe that surrounds us. I'm talking about when people use science to spread misinformation, to spread their own point of view. Like, I'm gonna give you a real simple and palpable subject on this matter, which is, you are familiar with documentaries, right? They are they are like a form of entertainment where people record things and use studies to develop a case, you know. And there are a lot of documentaries that are biased, you know. I'm I'm thinking about a documentary I've seen on veganism. And by the way, I don't have any problem towards vegans or vegetarians or pescatarians or any other type of food intake that people have. I'm just trying to preach a message because it happens in a lot of ways, and this was the first subject that I remembered, you know. So, vegans, if you're watching my video, sorry, but I'm trying to preach something, and this is the only thing that I remembered. So, talking about Game Changers. Game Changers is a documentary, and if I remembered, I enjoyed a lot of things about it, but there are some things that are clearly bullshitty. You know, Game Changers, if I recall, is a documentary where people that previously were meat eaters, mostly like Arnold Schwarzenegger, some strength, some strong men, and another one. They all document their lives and what happens after becoming a vegan and before becoming a vegan. And long story short, I don't call all that bullshit, but there are some things that are clearly biased towards having a certain impact because people, when trying to portray something, they will always bring the bright side of the topic they are trying to talk about and hide out the negatives of its topic. And in a countermeasure, they will bring out the negative topics about the topic they're trying to fight and neglect the positive effects that the topic has. And that is a very clear indicator that science sometimes never works that well, you know. And the clear example is that the guy who was being followed, he was doing like an exercise called the battle ropes, and he was mainly an omnivore. He would eat everything, and his performance in the ropes would be like 3 minutes, and he would be gassed out. Like, That's a that's a real good performance indicator, if I may ask. But the stupid thing happened when he became a vegan, like 3 months after or something. It was a time span. He was able to do the battle ropes with full intensity for 60 plus minutes or something like that. And that's clearly bullshit because, you know, people always try to make the thing they are talking about way better than it actually is. And with that we can find some more things, like people can manipulate statistics to a certain extent. Like, I remember watching something that was carnivores are more susceptible to heart diseases than vegetarians in the same documentary. I might believe it. It can probably happen, but there is something else that's missing. Like, what are the age groups? What is the food intakes? Like, what are the quantities? Are there any hereditary diseases? There is a full stack of unlisted reasons that why people could die from heart attacks or another cardiovascular diseases. It is not mainly due to veganism or to carnivorism or to omnivorousness or to whatever you eat. It certainly makes a difference in the way that your body reacts, but it isn't as linear as that. And I'm probably sure that if you work in some degree where you need to research and you need to do something, you always chose the articles that corroborate your own ideology, the way you see things. This is a very interesting bias that people follow, and that people who just want to learn more are sus- are more willing to accept that, even though it may not be true, and they might be being misled to something that they don't want to follow. And that's the thing that I want to preach to you, all of you guys, is beware of what you see, beware of the documentaries, beware of the scientific articles. We never know what are the true intentions of the scientists, the videographers, the producers of such activity. They might be trying to preach something good, but it will always be a little bit of biased. And I'm asking you, please start using your critical brain more. You're like, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. When I eat meat, sometimes, of course, I feel a little bit groggy, and it doesn't hand me that well. But when I see the because why that happened, sometimes I just ate too more, or sometimes I just don't feel in the right mood. It will always be on your own perception of things why such thing happened, and you need to trial and error on yourself. You need to evaluate, experiment different things, and then you can have an honest opinion on such topic. And that was it for today. I just want to tell you guys that because I'm sick and tired of people watching a documentary and making like a sacred house to it, becoming so fan 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 biased onto it that they forgot that they have a brain in the first place. And I just want to tell you guys about that. Please share this with someone who might fall into these scientific traps, and comment your honest opinion on it. Subscribe and share, leave a like, and I will see you on the next one, brothers.